Hi everyone, welcome to Daily Endeavours for the 18th of May. Jackson, got a 15 seal set. As always, there will be timestamps in the description if you just want to skip to one of these. Look, if you don't have any DLC, if I didn't have any DLC and I logged on and I saw this set, I would personally just log off. It looks pretty fucking terrible. Resources isn't too bad, but the rest of it's just... This one requires Thieves Guild, this one requires Gold Road. This one you basically want a High Isle, or it's just going to be fucking shit. And then this one, you know, sometimes it can be an absolute nightmare finding a player and being able to kill them. Because the only good thing about this one is you don't actually have to kill them yourself, you just have to get participation in the kill. But it can be so... Like, there can be times where you just get a dry streak of just nothing. You can't... A player just doesn't die. So yeah, I'm never a big fan of these ones that require you to, like, relies on the interactions with other players. And that's the same with this one if you don't have DLC. There's like only one option where you can find multiple Iron Atronachs, and in those cases it's fucking awful. But yeah, so I'll start with Scribed abilities if you have Gold Road, because this is definitely the quickest and the most straightforward. So what you're going to need is two things. You're going to need an ability that removes your health, and you're going to need a Scribed ability that heals you. So for a Scribed ability that heals you, you don't need anything aside from Healing Soul. You can get this very quick. What you need to do is you complete the first quest of the Scribing skill and the second era of Scribing. Very quick, takes only a few minutes. Then you need to complete the Wing of the Indrik, the first of the four wings. So there's the four wings here, and you have to do this one first, and then you do the other ones after that. The Wing of the Indrik gives you a heal... I can never remember what they called. Are they focus scripts? Yeah. So it gives you a healing focus and a Sage's Remedy signature. This isn't as important. The breach. There is one thing that's really helpful called Vitality. You get Vitality from completing the Wing of the Dragon. Once you complete the Wing of the Dragon, you go to Reaper's March to Rolka. Quickest way to get here would be to use Sleep Creek, this house here, in Home Tours. Just travel to it, go out the front door, and you'll rock up in Rolka, and then from that point you can just go straight there. But what you need to do is go to this location. There'll be a little scroll that you can pick up, like it's got like a little blue effect around it. That will give you Vitality, and Vitality increases your healing received. So it's, you know, it's good for this. So I use a different Affix, is it? I can never fucking... No, signature. I use... there's another one called... it's not here. What the fuck? I guess because I've already got it. It's called Druid's Resurgence, and that's what it does. Restores magic and stamina. I just prefer that for the resources gained. You can get that one from Wayrest. So Wayrest is here, Stormhaven. And same thing. So you can use Gardener House in Home Tours, and you can just travel here, you go to the Mage's Guild, it's somewhere in here, just look for the same thing, it's like a blue scroll. So once you've got all that, now you're going to need something that removes health. So there's three options. Two of them can be used in conjunction. One is either siphoning attacks, or just siphoning strikes, whichever morph you got. For Nightblades, I think this is the best one, because while you're casting this with Magicka, this takes away your health and gives you back Magicka, so they're symbiotic. One helps the other one. So yeah, this is amazing for this. If you don't have access to a Nightblade with this skill, Blood Altar is your other bet. Just don't go the Sanguine Altar morph. Don't morph it at all if you can, because they both reduce the costs, which is counterintuitive. If you want Blood Altar, if you haven't got it yet, what you can do is go to Glenumbra, this way shrine that you start with by default. This building here, you've got the Rosy Lion. There is a quest giver near the tribute players that you can find. It's a large, like really tall orc lady. She gives you a quest. As soon as you start that quest, you'll unlock the Untorted skill line, you'll have Blood Altar straight away, and then from that point you can just use that. You need to be level 10 for both of these. Well, I mean, siphoning attacks you need to be like level 40. But yeah, at least level 10, but I think most people are level 10. The other thing is Vampirism, Blood Frenzy. This removes your health per 2 seconds, but gives you weapon and spell damage, which actually affects your healing done. So this is also great. So I use these three in conjunction with each other. So siphoning attacks and Vampirism to take health away, and then I use Healing Soul to get my health back. So if you just try and use the Scribed ability normally, it won't do anything. And like I said, you need to have health removed first. So if I take a bit of health off, as you can see here, it starts working. So what I do is I cast Vampirism, damage over time, and then I just start casting siphoning attacks, and then Scribing ability heal my health, and then just repeat that process. So yeah, you once you've got access to these 3 things here on a character, you can just log into that character. As soon as you log in, you can just get this done. Takes like a minute, probably less than that, and then you can just move on. Alright, resources from the world. So, I can finally sort of update this a little bit, actually. So these are the things that do work. So blacksmithing ores, clothing plants, true seams, woodworking logs, alchemy plants, mushrooms, water. These are usually going to be the things that you find the most, for instance, as well. The Furrier's traps are related to surveys, particularly like only clothing surveys. And yeah, these you can get from specific DLC zones like the Deadlands. And they're basically just these, but just reskinned. Now, things that don't work, I actually found a Psijic Portal the other day, so I can actually put this into things that don't work. So, and I mean, at this point, I would assume this doesn't work either. So, all this stuff here, chests, Thieves Troves, torchbugs, butterflies, any insect nodes, containers, Psijic Portals, yeah, none of that stuff works. So yeah, just look for this stuff. That means that surveys, all of the surveys work. And so if you've got, look, if you've got a lot of surveys in your inventory, like as many as I would have, you could use surveys to get this done super quick. But if you, as you would have seen the other day, sometimes survey endeavors can come up. So it's good to leave a couple of these in your inventory so that when those do come up, you can do those. Because usually it can be, especially like on a day like this, if you could do a survey one, it'd be fucking way easier than any of this other some of this shit here. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Maybe keep a couple of surveys if you can. Because all it does for this endeavor is just slow it down a little bit. Whereas with the survey endeavor, you can't do it. So it's just, yeah. So it's pretty damn quick to get 8 items. It's just, like everything else, I guess, on this list, except for a heist, I suppose, it's going to be a little bit dependent on the overland, because if someone comes through, like me, right here, and just collects all this stuff, when someone else comes through to do the same thing, it's just, yeah, you might struggle to find some stuff. Yeah, pure water. Lakes, oh, I didn't even grab it. Well, lakes like this spot in Craglin is actually really good for this, because there's water, there's like pure water spots and Nernroot and water hyacinth all over the edge of the water, and you can actually do it pretty quick. But in most places, you can just run through with your mount, and you'll find 8 things like pretty damn quick. This is, like I said, it just depends on if someone's been through here, and it looks like someone has. What was that? Oh, there, Nightshade. So some of the alchemy options can be a little bit hard to see. My suggestion is, at least in regards to alchemy stuff, is to have Keen Eye, because this can really help you spot stuff if it's close to you but you don't know what it looks like. Because there's a lot of different alchemy plants, and yeah, sometimes they could just be hard to see in just the green shrubs. And also, if you can use, if you've got 10 out of 10 in the passes for blacksmithing, clothing, woodworking, jewelry crafting, I find the nodes for the max level stuff, especially for these 3, woodworking, clothing, and blacksmithing, these ones, they're like, you can see in the background here, this like rubidite ore. It's just like bright red, and there's not really many environments where this is going to blend in. In most places, it just sticks out like a sore thumb. So yeah, if you can get access to that, it's great. Also, if you're wondering what zone is best to use, I think Craglin's best just because everything is so dense. But you really can't go wrong with just using any zone, especially like these kinds of zones, East March of the Rift, Bankrai, Alikir. People don't usually run through these to collect stuff as much as Craglin. So honestly, just pick a zone, just pick like a random spot that you have access to, especially if like it's like further in, and just fucking run around. I guarantee you'll find a bunch of shit pretty quick. If you want an add-on that will help you in the long run for like finding stuff in the wild, because this is HarvestMap here. It gives you pins on the map from stuff that you've actually harvested. It like saves it in a database and shows it on the map. So if you want to do this this endeavor, there's a bunch of things that you can enable or disable, and as you can see here, you can just show every single thing on the map that you've harvested in the past, and you can just go to these spots and check them. And yeah, if you're fortunate, if nobody's been through, as you can see here, there's just items here that you can then harvest, and it just makes it quicker. So I'll link that add-on in the description. Yeah, as you can see there, there's just stuff here. The only one that can blend in sometimes is platinum, but once you know what it looks like, that is what all platinum seams look like. So, yeah, once you've seen a resource, like once you've seen a node, that's what every single node looks like. So yeah, once you get the hang of like what everything looks like, it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, Columbine. Always pick up Columbine if you can. That's the only exception. Because yeah, this stuff's quite expensive. But yeah, as you can see there, you got like a runestone, rubidite, you got cloth over there, you got a blessed thistle there. So yeah, sometimes you can just run through and you can find tons of shit in a single spot. And this one can be very quick, but you just need to know what you're looking for. You get ready for loud music. Oh no, that's it. Oh okay, it's a different one. Okay, so Iron Atronachs. This can be done in base game. It says the volcanic base of Vardenfell. It's in one location in Vardenfell, and it's not just in the overland, it's a public dungeon. I will show that as the third option, but if you don't have Gold Road, this is going to be arse. It sucks. Because trying to... Yeah, I'll show you what I mean when I get to it. So, if you do have High Isle, this will be pretty straightforward. What you want to do is, you want to look at two things. You want to look at the volcanic vents, and you also want to look at the Spire of the Crimson Coin, this public dungeon here. Just a little bit of a walk over from the Gonfalon Bay where you start, the wasteland that you start with when you unlock the zone. So the reason we want to look at these volcanic vents is Iron Atronachs spawn from these in pretty substantial amounts. The only problem that is going to be when you start with is that if you haven't gone and discovered these locations, if you haven't actually taken your mount over there or just like run over and been there, they won't actually show up on the map, and thus they will not show up which one is actually up at the time. So trying to find these can be a fuck around if you haven't done that. So what I'd suggest you do first, if you haven't been to High Isle, if you haven't unlocked volcanic vents, just do one run around where you unlock all of the vents. Obviously, if one's up, just go straight to it if you're moving over to it. But once you unlock, like once you've been there and found all the vents, even if you haven't done them, they will now show up on the map, and you'll be able to see which one is actually up. I think you should do this with every incursion style event in any of the zones. For example, Somerset, because Abyssal Geezers do show up as dailies every now and then. Same thing with Western Skyrim with the Harrow Storms. Any of these DLC options here. I think the only one that doesn't have anything is like Austinium. Vardenfell doesn't actually have anything. Blackwood does, but they're a bit different. They don't show up on the map actually. They're portals. There's a thing on the web that you can look up. If that ever comes up again, I've always show that. Northern Elsewhere doesn't have anything yet. It does have dragons though, and it's the same thing. You that being said, the dragons show up on the map as well. Fuck, I'm getting ahead of myself. So once you've found all the locations. From this point, as soon as so if you look at this from outside the zone, like if you're not actually in High Isle, nothing will show up. You have to enter the zone. It's like Dolmen. So first port into the zone, then just wait a moment and just have a look at the volcanic vents. As soon as you see one up, just go straight to it. When you're at a waste shrine, obviously. Now there is a chance when you get there that everything, like all the Iron Atronachs that have been up, will be dead. Because when you do it like this, the odds are there'll be lots of other players doing the same thing. They get there and they just kill everything super fast. But we'll see. Oh, it's not even up yet. Alright. So, there's 3 lava pools that you want to look at. There's one here. They spawn little enemies. Once you kill the little enemies, some of the enemies that can spawn are Iron Atronachs. There's one there. So, yeah, I might just grab both. I think I can handle both. It's just the hive golems that are a pain. So yeah, there's one Iron Atronach. Once you kill the first wave of enemies, another second wave of enemies will spawn. Don't know where they are. Okay, there they are. And then a Hive Golem will spawn after a while. Now, Hive Golems, they look very similar to Iron Atronachs, but they are not an Iron Atronach. Even in this place, like, sometimes you just don't get Iron Atronachs. They just don't spawn. Okay, so these things suck. I don't like fighting them. They're like lurchers with even more shit that makes them difficult to deal with. Now, you'll see here that there are Fire Atronachs called Infernal Atronachs. To stop these annoying-ass things from spawning, what you need to do is... There'll be ghost ones around that you need to look for. Because they slowly walk over to the lava pools. Here's one. So if these make their way over, they turn into the proper ones. So killing these is also quite important. Alright, so now I'll focus this one. Bit of luck, there'll be another Iron Atronach. There's another one. Oh, there's two. Beautiful. Yeah, feast or famine. Sometimes you get lots, sometimes you don't. Just keep doing the volcanic vents. And I know it looks like there's not many people here, but trust me, give it a couple of minutes, you'll see a bunch of people rock up. Just also be on the lookout for other people attacking an Iron Atronach, because you just need to make sure you deal damage to it. Also, I need to check. Do they count? I don't think they do. Yeah, God, those fucking things do way too much damage. Oh, there's one over there. Right, so I did say before, Spire of the Crimson Coin, right? So there are not Iron Atronachs in Spire of the Crimson Coin, but there is something else. So you can get there by finding this boat. You just travel to the boat. Press E on it. Now what you're looking for here is, I think there's one, yeah, this guy up here. So these hombres right here, these are Soul Razor Knights. So these guys actually count as Iron Atronachs. There's one here. They're a little bit tough, but they're not as difficult to fight as a volcanic vent. So. As you can see there, see? Destroy one fire Iron Atronach. So there's a couple of these things in the place. I think there's only like 6 or 8 max. I don't see many of them. I can't remember how to bring that one down. I think that one actually might just be cosmetic. There's another one over there. Yeah, I'm not sure. Can you climb up there? He's not actually. He doesn't have a health bar, so I don't think he can actually fight that one. Yeah, they all look like that. They're like these blue flame dudes. I'm trying to ignore this guy. Why am I doing that? Yeah, these guys here. They can have different weapons, but they all look like that. They have they're like cool metallic dudes, and yeah, they just like have blue flame coming out of them. So yeah, they're just like a tier 1 enemy. It's a little bit tough, but yeah, you can easily kill them on your own. So yeah, that's another way. So they are littered all over the place. There's a couple over here. There's a couple over here, and there's a couple in the maze. And I imagine there's also a couple over here, but I'm not too sure. But you can get 5 done if you kill these ones and come through here and kill some of them around this area. Yeah, I'm not too sure about up here. But there's more than 5. I know that for sure. Okay, option number 3 is Forgotten Wastes in Vardenfell. This is the free option. But because it's free, everybody else fucking comes to this place to do the same bloody thing. So this place is usually packed with people, and the issue is there's like 6 or 7 Iron Atronachs, and people just camp the spawn and kill them as soon as they get up. There's also a public joined group event, but everyone also kills the group event super quick, and so it never fucking spawns Iron Atronachs. It's so I hate using this option just because people are just incapable of being considerate of other players, and they just kill everything super fast. It fucking annoys me. So if you do want to get here for the first time, there is a house you can use that's around here somewhere. What you want to do is go home tours, go browse homes, because not a lot of people actually have this house, and you're looking for Sanctuary. Where is it? remember what it's called. Something Sanctuary. Yeah, here we go. Kushalit Sanctuary. This one. Any of these here, just travel to it, go back outside, and yeah, you rock up somewhere over here. And then you just travel a little bit east, go over here, get the way shrine, so you've got easy access to this from now on. And then just go straight there. There are a few other options for Iron Atronachs. Another thing is Western Skyrim. There is a delve called... Dragonhome, here it is. This one here. Dragonhome has a couple of Iron Atronachs. You can get 5 in there, but you need Western Skyrim. It's a little bit of a trek to get to. Get the Sway Shrine, and then you got access to it. But this could be another thing. Again, though, it's an overland option, so if someone else has got the same idea, you're fucked 6 votes on Sunday in there. But that is another option. And there's a few more, I think. But are there areas where you can find 5 in quick succession? No. No, there's not. I think there's a couple of dungeons where you can get Iron Atronachs as well. But they're all like... The only ones that I know of are... Oh shit, no, I'm supposed to go the other way. They're DLC options, so they're not valuable, I think. Okay, so here's one, and we just got here in time to get participation, but that's one, and now you'd have to wait for it to respawn. It'd probably take like 5 minutes, and there's just one there. So the group event is up here, but also the odds are that this thing will also be dead. Yeah, as you can see, it's... Oh no. Oh, well, it's up. So there's one boss that spawns Iron Atronachs, so you don't want to kill them. So what you can do is just let them live for a bit. Or you can just kill them very quickly. That's fine. This is the... Oh, sorry. This is the boss that we just saw in that group event. As you can see here, she summons Iron Atronachs, and all 3 of the bosses that spawn at this group event do this attack. They can all summon this Iron Atronach. So people killing them too quickly like this is just... It completely validates that fucking boss as an option. Right, so here's one of the places where an Iron Atronach spawns. There's another one over here. Yeah, they're killing that one. And then there's another one up here. As you can see the dead body of it. There's one there. And then if you go up, there's also a couple of other places where they can spawn. But you have to go through a lot of enemies. If you don't have something like this, like a Nightblade with Cloak, it's difficult to efficiently get to all these Iron Atronachs. I don't remember exactly where it is. That's a Hive Golem. These don't count. They're not Iron Atronachs. But there is another one in here somewhere. But yeah, like as you can see, there's not many, and they're usually dead before you can get to them. So yeah, personally, I just fucking skip this one. If you haven't got High Isle, I just do the resource one and then just call it a day. Okay, so I'll just discuss killing a player in Cyrodiil. So like I said before, it says kill enemy players, but as long as you just participate in the death of a player, that's all you need. It's like duels. You don't have to win. I suppose it's not like duels. It's like defeating enemies. You don't actually have to get the killing blow for it to work. In that case, I think the easiest way to do this if you're not versed in PvP is to basically get like a tough character with lots of healing and just light attack spam like a player while you follow a group. Obviously, you can look up builds. I'll put some learning content in the description if you want to know like how PvP works, sort of thing. I'm not experienced with PvP when it comes to like actually doing it properly, so I'm not really the person you want to ask for that sort of thing. But yeah, I'll link some stuff in there. But if here's the thing, right? I'm not good at PvP. If I were to do this, the only two ways I would try and do this is one, well, in both cases, like find a group, which is difficult in this kind of stuff because there's so few people. Like it gets so one-sided, as you can see here. So sometimes there's just no groups to follow. And then like just follow them around, and whatever players they go up against, just start attacking them. Just make sure you don't die, obviously. And yeah, eventually one player will die on the enemy team with like a bunch of pressure from a group. And then you'll get the participation. And then from that point, that's all you need. Or you can use Siege. So if it's like busy, or more busy than normal, and a keep gets attacked, you can defend it with some siege weapons. So you can buy siege weapons in Cyrodiil. Flaming oil is great if people are using battering rams on the door. Same with firebolt blisters. Firebolt blisters are pretty strong. A couple of these, you can shoot them at a group of players, and if the defense goes well, you'll probably just get like a player kill somewhere of a player that you've damaged with a ballista, and then that's it. You can also use firebolt trebuchets. They're a little bit finicky to use though compared to firebolt blisters. They're a lot easier to use. But if all the spots are taken up at the on the wall when you're defending a keep, you can put trebuchets in like the courtyard, like the inner courtyard between the outer wall and the like inner like flag area. And you can shoot them over the wall and like see if you can hit players, but it's kind of hard to see where you're shooting sometimes. You can also use things like meatbag catapults, oil catapults, scattershot catapults to hit players. Scattershot catapults increase the damage players take too. So these getting participation with a kill could actually be pretty good with a catapult. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff you can use. Just don't use elemental stuff. Don't use stuff like stone trebuchets and normal ballistas because they don't do very good damage to players. Yeah, firebolt blisters, flaming oil, and catapults are, I think, very good options here. But yeah, I just, because of how unreliable this one can be, I just try to avoid this one like the plague. As far as Cyrodiil goes, you don't want to be a character like this with like 20,000 health. A good player will fucking take that much health off in a couple of seconds. So you want like, I'd say about 30 to 40,000 health. You want a lot of burst damage. You want a lot of healing. It's not like PvE where like one healing ability is enough to cover the entire thing. You need a lot of healing to stay alive in Cyrodiil. You need a lot of mobility. You need a lot of use line of sight as well to get away from players. Like if you see a player shooting at you with like, like a mage or something, use something like this to stop them from attacking you and shit like that. Stuff in line of sight and that sort of thing in PvP is really good. As far as killing a player, you want burst damage. You don't want consistent damage like you do in PvE. If you do consistent damage, players can just heal through it very easily. The more damage you can do in a short amount of time, the less chance players have of being able to react to it quick enough, and the better chance you have of killing them. So, for example, lining things up like stunning them and then using like a really hard-hitting thing like this, for example, Merciless Resolve or Relentless Focus can be good. Executes are really good too, because when you do a ton of bursts when enemies are low health, it can finish them off. Yes, crowd control and lining things up. Not sure if these sort of have a... Nightblade's on a very good example. Like Sorcerers, for example, are good to talk about. Lining up Curse with the Endless Wrath and like a hard-hitting thing like their ultimate, like Overload or their Crystal Frags, stuff like that. Lining those sorts of things up together can do a ton of damage in like a short time, and people can't react to it very quick. Things like that will kill players in PvP, not consistent damage. If you do tons of consistent damage, obviously it's going to do a lot, but there's not many instances where players will, like a competent player will not just shrug it off, like because they'll just walk out of the AoEs like this. They just won't run into something like Trap. Not always. If someone's chasing it, it's pretty good. But yeah, just in other cases, it's just not a very good option, I think. Like I said, I'm not the best person when it comes to explaining PvP, so I think you'd be better off just looking up guides for that. Because yeah, I'm much more experienced with the PvE side of this game. Alright, so last one's a heist. Again, this is NA, so endeavors haven't reset yet, but I know for a fact that all you have to do is complete this quest and it counts as finishing a heist. So, what is a heist exactly? TLDR, you gotta steal a bunch of shit and get out. Now there's like a time, you'll have like a time limit in the thing, but you can still complete the quest if you fail the time limit, because if you get spotted by enemies, it reduces the time limit, etc, etc. But all the time limit does, it gives you like a better reward at the end. So it's not super important. If you just want to complete the actual heist itself for the endeavor, all you have to do is just finish it. And in that case, the only thing you have to do is actually you collect a bunch of items. That's all you do. Now in the heist, there are enemies who will spot you, and the only objective here is just to make sure that they don't do that. Now there's people like that in the background there, you can see. All the people in heists are hostile, unlike the Black Sacraments, which only the sentries are hostile. Only these guys. Everybody else is just civilians. So these sentries can spot you through stealth. And what I mean by that is they can pull you out of invisibility, as you can see there. Now you can. Oh, god damn it! Come on. Oh yeah, because they're on an incline. Just trying to see if I can get them on flat surface. Yeah. So, god damn it! Come on. Not working. There we go. Okay, so you can feed on them as a vampire. However, as you can see, even though you killed them and didn't get detected, it still says that you have less time. It's fucking bullshit. Yeah. Also, fucking minimap. Minimap is bugged. That's fucking helpful, isn't it? Alright, so these things here, you can actually disarm them. But it's a bit weird. They're like, the disarming doesn't work properly sometimes. You have to be in like a certain spot. Otherwise it just doesn't work. Yeah, you can disarm those. And these things here, you can hide in them. And if you're quick enough, you can be in combat and hide in them, and then you can like get out of combat. It's quite funny. And in this case, I'm just going to go over here. Just going to grab this. Now, like even if you, oh, god damn it, even if you silently kill with like a blade of woe, even like they will still you'll still get a time penalty. It's not great. So, thing is, you can. Oh, yeah, you can go invisible and not get spotted, but if you try and do it in just normal stealth, it doesn't work. So you can actually cloak and get away from them if you're out of the rings, like the blue rings with cloak. How much time do I have left? I mean, I'm not going to really get the thing done, I don't think, because I got 2 more, I think, to get. Yeah. Sometimes you don't get it. It's not really worth bothering with or like caring about the bonus, because the shit that you get is like so insignificant nowadays. You get like a motif that sells for fuck all. You get like a couple of things that you can sell for a couple of 100 gold when you can just do writs and fucking sell shit for better profits. Yeah, so you talk to Farandar, he's like, yeah, doesn't always go according to plan, but you just leave with him and then you can just complete the quest. You get a shitty reward, but it doesn't matter. All you want is the 15 seals. That's all that matters. Yeah, that's it. And then you get a satchel of stuff, and yeah, you get a lead, you get a leniency edict, which removes bounty. I don't really use this anyway, just personally, because I just let the bounty clear overnight. And then these things here, they sell for 40 gold each, so what? It's 200 gold. Woo! What a reward. So yeah, that's like, if you get the purple reward, you get more stuff, but you get a bit more to sell, and then you get a motif that sells for a couple thousand. There's just so many better ways you can make money in this game. So yeah, just don't worry about it. Just fucking Rambo through if you don't have a stealth character. Just fucking do it that way. I didn't mention before. I did mention it when it was up the other day, because fucking there was a heist like a few days ago. You do need to complete the third main quest in the Hughes Vein Zone story, the long game. That unlocks the quest that unlocks heists. So that takes a little bit of time. If you haven't even done Partners in Crime yet, it takes quite a while getting through those quests. It takes a couple of hours usually, unless you're like super quick. So if you haven't done any of that stuff, it's probably not going to be a very quick option here for endeavors. But if you have done it already, it's pretty quick. It's instant, so nobody can fucking get in the way like some of these other fucking annoying endeavors today. Alright, so that's everything. If you got any questions, as always, just let me know. But daily's done. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for your support as always. See you next time, and take care.